My challenge today is to share with you 5G deployment. 5G is a big challenging subject. Even some countries still 3G, remain in the 3G situation. Many of countries start 4G, but now 5G is coming. Let me challenge you. This is my plan. Try to collect all information as much as possible. Let me start with this overall 5G development guidelines is based on the standard plans, especially with collaboration with the ITU. As you know, ITU is International Telecommunication Union. We are 153 years old, very old organization. This is the first international organization established since 1865. Specifically, ITUR, Radio Bureau, has a responsibility of this all mobile development. As shown in this red-colored upper of this window, this is the most important window to develop of 5G. So we are now in the stage to receive proposed candidate technologies. So following of this, even 3GPP, other standard organizations working hard, what kind of candidate technology they submit to the ITUR. And then, as shown in here, until June, we received of these proposals, then start to evaluation. With that result, I hope WRC 2019 will finalize of these spectrums. This is overall guidelines. Based on this, let me look at one by one. First, EU case. All of you are the EU members. I believe you are better than me. But one thing is highlighted is that EU approach is joint strategies between these industries that are definitely including R&D institutes, as well as European Commissions, governments, and some of the domain-specific applications. Shown in these diagrams, based on these 5G infrastructures, leading by these public-private partnerships, having of these 4 dominant EU flagship of these events on 5G, like 5G vertical pilots, 5G platforms, especially 5G demonstrations of the Euro UEFA Cups at 2020, and several cities identified as 5G trial cities. EU plan is almost the same based on this ITU standard development process. Now, as shown in this red colored part, 2017 to 2019 is the stage. Now, currently, EU has in the middle of phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 2 is the testings. Phase 3 is end-to-end services. You are now in the stage of this, in the middle of that stage. Move to the US case. One of the interesting part of US is there's no government drive strategies. I didn't find of any government drive. Only except is FCC announced of this to use of this above 24 gigahertz for mobile service. They change of the mobile spectrum strategies about 24 gigahertz. That was, I want to say, this is opening the gate for 5G business. Many operators are very active in US markets. Verizon is one of the key mobile operators. Their plan is wireless 5G service. Use of this focusing on the 28 gigahertz bandwidth. Why they called of this wireless 5G, they are based on the fixed wireless access specification that was developed with Korea Telecom together. Some of operators, they get together, they develop technical specifications to initiate of this 5G. I will explain later. And another important operator is AT&T. AT&T also based on this fixed wireless access specifications. They wish to have some commercialized services end of this year. Very ambitious plans, but mostly many of the services is adopting of this direct TV with around 100 gigabps high speed. And last operator should be the Sprint. Unfortunately, Sprint, they didn't have a 28 gigahertz bandwidth, so they are relatively based on the 2.5 gigahertz bandwidth. By use of this, some of other technologies like FD MIMO technologies, they expect they will provide 2.8 gigs speed, quite a high speed. They wish to provide of this service second half of next year. Let me challenge you to look at this what's happening in the China. China is one of the countries has initiated of these activities very early. They set up one of expert groups called the 5G expert committees. They set up this group year 2013, beginning of year 2013. They set up this group. This group is a very important group to make of this consolidate all China industries get together. As shown in here, they start with 8 working groups, but now they have 11 working groups, like adding 5G trial working groups and communication for the vehicle to X working groups. So those are working groups, what they organized. The participating industry, as shown in the below part, most of the key industries are joining of these China trials. This is a timeline of this Chinese case, also same as with based on this ITU and the 3GPP. And this is the timeline for them. This red colored part, they are now almost to finish the technical feasibility. Technical feasibility, they wish to finish until end of this year. And next year, they want to extend some possible some services from the 3GPP standard, and also plan to adopt regional requirements. This could be very cautious because China is a big country. They make their own business. So they might be think about how they adopt regional requirement or something make different. And China has such very good milestones. Now they almost finish of these test specifications. They will move end of this year as a multi-vendor interoperability. So they want to check with this multi-vendor environment and try to integrate with the verticals. Key verticals should be the vehicle industry. So Chinese the ICT community is very keen to collaborate with vehicle industries. As you know, the China vehicle industry is very fastly growing up. So there is a wish to collaborate, integrate of this vehicle communication based on the 5G. This is showing of this how they worked, specifically under the CAICT is one of associations under government. They collect with industry chains and set up the scenarios. They test it on the CAICT. This could be good examples how collaborate with administrations, industries, standard organizations, and operators. Then we have to look at Japan as well. Japan also very well advanced countries. They also start quite early. They start of this 5G development from year 2014. They set up on forums called 5G Mobile Communication Promotion Forum. But actually this as a successor of one of expert group under the ARIB. ARIB is a radio-related communication groups. Japan also, their plan is similar as the other countries based on the ITU 3GPP. And one thing interesting part is they set up of these use cases, 6 different use cases. For example, use case 1 is entertainment, like enhanced mobile broadband. Use case 2 is how to ensure security and disaster defense. Use case 3 is logistics, agriculture. Those are 6 use cases they set up. This is a 5G trials in Japan. They are collaborating with some of organizations, with partners. Each partners have different objectives. Mobile broadband or urgent real-time services or massive machine-to-machine services, they set up these plans. And then the next one is Korea case. Korea also set up this 5G very early. Specifically, Korea Telecom is one of the dominant groups. So I just make a reference from the Korea Telecom case. Specifically, as you heard that there's just finished the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games. All their plan is aiming for demonstrating of their services at this Winter Olympic Games. So they set up this year 2016, June 2016, with the collaboration with the industries, they developed specific technical specifications called the fixed wireless access. This is FWA. This is now basement of this 5G technical standard, with this Verizon, AT&T used together. After that, KT have many trials. The first test event was in 2016, and they show this demonstration in the Rio the Olympic Games. And the second test event, and following that, they successfully finished this Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games. One of the big difference of this KT case, as shown on your left-hand side, that was the previous versions, and then on the right-hand side is the demonstration version in Pyeongchang. So they incorporate all these functionalities into the devices. Still, something difficulties is the end-user device, end-user terminal. We don't have yet of this 5G terminal device. And this Pyeongchang is not only for the gameplays. They installed of these 5G capabilities, huge space. From this, on the right-hand side to the left-hand side, around 100 kilometers, we have several Olympic stadiums. They installed all these. So this is not only for the one place. This is a service, what they shown. Since yesterday, I pushed my colleagues in Korea Telecom. I want to show what you did in Pyeongchang Olympic Games. It was contracted with the Olympic Committee, so that video has something Olympic landmark, so not allowed, but I pushed him. I came from the Korea Telecom. I pushed him, so I got a video, 1 minute video. I think it's good to know what did in Pyeongchang.
For the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018, KT is preparing 5G services for the first time in the world. With the 5G wireless camera and the GPS communication module, an OmniView service that allows you to feel the athletes at the stadium in real time. The 360-degree VR Live service allows you to feel like you are actually at the stadium. The interactive time slice service captures the movements of the athletes beyond the time and space through 100 cameras installed in the stadium. Sync View service that transmits video of the events from the perspective of the athlete through sub-miniature cameras in real time. 5G self-driving bus and self-driving drone provides you with new values. people, technology. KT.
Okay. This automotive bus was operated from this 100 kilometers from that far east and this in the middle of the part, successfully operated of this 5G automotive bus. And then in addition to this, my time is just a limit of the 2 minutes. ITUT is my bureau also responsible to develop our standard. We address the 5G, how we can support of transport networks, network control capabilities, network management capabilities. We are developing a standard. Also very recently, we organized one of the expert group how to utilize machine learning to help of this 5G operation. Because a 5G operation need a lot of data. So we start with these expert groups, how to use of these machine learnings. As a conclusion, my talk today, most of these activities as shown in here, so ITU, 3GPP, other SDUs, and industry-driven, definitely, and step-by-step migrations. Most of these key applications, video-oriented, rather AR, VR, or 360 degrees of videos as shown in this KT case. But still, we have many hurdles to overcome. The first one is investment for infrastructures. 5G need more extended of these fixed, strong, smart fixed networks, like optical networks, we definitely need it. And still, we don't have any end-user devices, no 5G smartphones, and even others. So KT, they invented of this 5G device based on the tab, not smartphone. So they developed this based on the tabs. And definitely, how we can migrate our current 3G, 4G infrastructure to 5G. 5G not just shown on the one shot, we need migrations. And the final point is, 5G is a first initiations to implement fixed mobile convergence. After the, we don't want to see, after the even in the 5G, we are different infrastructures for mobile service and fixed service. So 5G is the first case of fixed mobile convergence. That is my talks. I left 4 seconds. Thank you very much.